What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and we are Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there, waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya.
Today, we're going to talk about a dice chucking race game, and that game is called Cubitos.
Cubitos is designed by John D. Clare and published by AEG Games.
Let's go to the table for an overview of how this game is played. Cubitos is a dice pool building game for 2 to 4 players where the players are runners in the annual cube race and they're trying to become the next champion. To set up the game, each player will first receive their player mat and 2 running figures of their chosen color. They will get this phase token, which they will place next to their player board on the roll phase side. They will also get 7 light gray dice and 2 dark gray dice. And when they will place these dice over into the draw area of their player board. The players will then select the 8 ability cards that they're going to use in the game. If this is your first game, the rule book recommends using these cards. So you got Rock On, Rich Dog, Smelly Cat, Bob, Rollosaurus, Dugout, Reckless Cheese, and Mr. Soldier. Even though these are your first 8, the game comes with a total of 56 ability cards. So there is a lot of variability in this game. Each card has a set of dice in the matching color. In the upper right hand corner, you have the cost to buy that dice. So if I wanted to buy this dice, this will cost 4 coins. Rich Dog will cost 2. Rollosaurus will cost 12. Now, you also have the ability, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But in the lower left hand corner of the card, it shows the chances of you rolling something. So Rock On, you have a 3 in 6 chance of rolling something. Dugout, you have a 2 in 6 chance. Rollosaurus, you have a 1 in 6 chance. Next, we will select a racetrack and put it in the middle of the table in reach of all players. So there are 4 racetracks in the game, but the rulebook recommends using this one as your first game. Nothing goes right. Each player would take one of their running meeples and place it in the starting area, which is that gray area there. So a 2-player game, it will end up looking something like that. We would take the fan track and place it next to the racetrack and take our other 2 runner tokens and put them in the bleacher area on the fan track. Then we would take each chosen ability card and place it around the racetrack along with its matching dice tray. Next, we will place the box of credit tokens and the box of draw tokens near the racetrack. In a 4-player game, they give you a couple extra boxes so you can split it up where all the players can reach it. But we're setting up for a 2-player game, so we're just going to use these 2. So this is how the game would look set up for a 2-player game. Lastly, we will randomly choose a first player and they would get this first player dice. Starting with the first player would do everything it says to do on their phase token. So it tells you to draw, roll, and then move hits to your active zone. So we have all our dice in the draw zone. Roll zone is here. Active zone, discard zone. So let's see how a turn goes. I would take dice equal to the number it says I can take with that symbol. So that's 9. I started the game with 9 dice, so I'm moving all my dice over into the roll zone. Now, being that I'm the first player, I get this starting dice, and that doesn't count towards my 9. So I'm actually rolling 10 dice this turn. Everybody else is rolling 9. So I would take all the dice, roll, and take any hits and put it into my active zone. So I got 2 hits. So since I only got 2 hits, I can roll again without fear of busting. If ever I get over 3 or more, then I have a chance to bust if I continue to push. So let's say I can continue to roll. I roll. I got 3 more hits. Now usually I probably would keep this and I'll say pass. So that's what I'm going to have to work with further on in my turn. But let's say I decide to do this again. I didn't roll anything, so I busted. Now, since I busted, that means I have to move all these over to my discard pile. These will stay in my roll zone. As a bonus, if I want to, I can move all these over to my discard pile, but there's no sense of doing that early on in the game. And then I pretty much will end my turn. Another bonus that I would receive because I busted is I'd be able to move my runner token up this fan track. So I guess the fans like to vote for the underdog. So now I'm underdog, I'm not able to move in the race, so they're giving me more love. The cool thing about moving up this track is you start receiving bonuses. So if later on I busted and I ended up here, then I will get this credit. Later on, if I moved up here, I will get this credit and this draw token. So what the draw tokens do is they allow you to roll more dice. So right now, at the beginning of the game, you're only rolling 9. This will let you roll 10. So let's say instead of pushing, I decided to just pass. So these stay in my active zone. These stay in my roll zone. And I will flip this over. And then the next player would take their roll phase. After everyone has taken their roll phase, then we do our run phase. So the run phase is first you use abilities. So there might be some abilities that pop off at the beginning of the run phase, like resolve any of these swords icons, and you find these on this dice here. But we haven't bought any dice, so I'll get into that in a minute. The next thing I would do is move. So any feet symbols I have that allows me to move 1 space on the track, on the racetrack. So I got 1 foot showing, so that allows me to move 1 space. I can move into here, 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 or here. You cannot move into water, but there are ability cards that allow you to walk on water. But they're not in this game, so I can move 1 space. Let's say I move here. Now you see that 2 there, that 2 credit. I move there and stop there. I get 2 credits and put it next to my player board. There are other spots you can move on to. So like this one here allows you to get rid of one of those crappy die. So the light gray die, they only got 1 symbol on one side of the die. So you probably get rid of those. This symbol here, 1 credit. This symbol over there lets you move up once on the fan track. Then there's other symbols like this one. This allows you to get a dice for free. So if you land on that. If you notice, on the outside is where all the bonuses is. But you're trying to win a race. So you probably want to stay on the inside and go around there. So you can't enter this space here. And you can't walk on water. So that's why in my turn, I did, the first thing is move. So the next thing I could do is buy something from the market. Now to show that I activated the move symbol, I can either flip it over to a blank side or I can just move it over to discard, show I already used it. So I get to buy something. So right now I have, these are coins. This is money in the game rather. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I also got these 2 credits that I just got. So I have 7 money that I could use to buy dice from the market. When buying dice, I can buy up to 2 dice and they have to be different. So I couldn't buy 2 of the Mr. Soldier. So here's some example of the dice I can afford and why I would buy them. So let's look at Mr. Soldier. Mr. Soldier costs me 3, and it will give me this symbol here. I have a 2 in 6 chance of rolling that symbol. But what happens with Mr. Soldier, like I say, you look at your run phase, you resolve that symbol. So if I had rolled that symbol into my active die, and I had the most of it at that round, then I would gain 3 credits and get 2 movement. So if this dice was in my active side, I would have, and remember I had that 1 movement, I would have moved 2 more movement. So total of 3. Thing is, once I do that, I would lose this die. This die would come from my active side, go right back into the supply. But that gives me a lot of stuff if I buy that die. If I was to buy Rock On costs 4. It has 3 in 6 chance of getting a hit. Thing is, if you push and you have this shield in your active side, you can move this dice back into your roll side. So it lowers your possibility of busting because it has a 3 in 6 chance of hitting. Smelly Cat. I love Smelly Cat. Smelly Cat costs 5, but you get 2 feet movement. You got 3 in 6 chance of rolling, so you get this if you roll the 2 movement. But if you roll the cat, that gives you 2 movement. Rich Dog, let's say that costs 2. You gain 3 money, or if you roll the dog face, you get 3 money. But if you roll the dog face, you lose this dice. So that dice goes back to the supply. So let's say I decide I got 7 money. Now the credits I could save till next round. But the regular money, you lose it, you use it or you lose it. So let's say I'm gonna get Rich Dog. And I'm gonna get Mr. Soldier. When buying dice, you would take the dice that you bought and put it into your discard pile. Once you're done buying dice, you move everything in your active zone over to your discard zone. Once all players has finished a full turn, the first player would take this, pass it to the next player. We will flip this back over, and then we would start our next turn. So draw. Remember, I can roll up to 9 die. Right now, I only have 5 die, so I have to draw more die from over here. But there's no dice over here. So whenever there's no more dice, you take all your dice from the discard pile, move it over to your draw pile, and then you draw up to 9. So I'll take this dice that I just bought, take this dice I just bought, take this one, take this one. So now I'm at 9. I leave these 2 crappy die over here. And then we would start rolling again. So now I got this extra die. I'm rolling. You know, I got 1 hit. But you pretty much see what goes on with the game. So a couple things I want to point out about the racetrack. So let's say this player gets 1 movement on their turn. They're able to move into the same spot as you are, and they will get the corresponding bonus here, which is 2 credits. Another thing is when you in your movement, you can spend $4 and move an extra space, and you can do that for as much money as you have. So let's say they spent that $4, he can move here. Now, another thing is later on in the game, let's say this guy's here, this guy is here. So when the next round starts, this is the guy that's in front. for every red line between the front guy and the other players, this player would get one of the temporarily would get one of these draw tokens. So that will allow him to draw an extra dice. So he could be rolling 10 dice or 11 dice. So that's a great catch-up mechanism. The object of the game is to win the race. So first player gets here, signifies the end of the game, and then we will make sure everybody gets the same number of turns. Now, let's say this player was the one that won the race. This guy gets another turn, and if he's able to get past this, then he wins the game. But let's say he didn't. He got this far. So once everybody's had an equal number of turns, this guy will be the winner of Cubitos. I enjoy playing this game with you a whole lot.
This game was fun.
So let's not waste any time. What do you think about the theme?
I love the theme. It reminded me of that old cartoon, The Laugh Olympics, where all the characters are racing each other.
You went way back for that one. Wow. Okay. I can see that. You know, I haven't had a lot of experience with racing games. So, but I really did enjoy this one.
Yes.
You know, you did feel like you were in a race.
Yes. Yes.
So, what do you think about the components?
The components were pretty basic, but I like the dice.
Yeah, it was a lot of dice in this game.
It was a lot of dice.
I mean, I think the dice wasn't great quality, you know, but I think it served its purpose. And like I said, there's a lot of dice in this game, so they couldn't make it better quality dice because that would make the game more expensive. So I get that. You know, the dice trays, though, I got to get rid of them. They were falling apart. I was like, I'll just buy alternative containers for the dice. And, you know, the only other gripe I had was our little runner pieces.
Yes.
They had the picture, like the little monkey picture on one side or the elephant picture. They only had it on one side, but the other side they left blank.
Yeah.
So I think they could have put the picture on both sides. Come on now. You know, but that's just a minor gripe.
It is minor.
Okay. So, what do you think about the art?
I mean, the art is cartoony. It's not art gallery quality, but it fits the theme.
Yeah, it did. The art does fit the theme. Like, this is a quirky game, and the art was quirky.
That's a good description. That is a good description.
It was just like real quirky art. Like, and some of the animals on the ability cards, they look kind of crazy. You know, like Smelly Cat.
Rich
He
Dog.
looks, Smelly Cat looks stressed out.
Rich Dog.
Like, so anyway, but let's jump right into mechanics. Did you enjoy the mechanics of this game?
Okay, so basically it's a dice chucking game, as you love to say.
Right.
However, usually dice have 6 sides, and there is something on every side. So no matter what, you always are going to roll something, but this dice is different. Some dice only have one face.
Those are the crappy dice that we start with.
Some dice have 2 faces, and some dice have 3 faces. So in actuality, you only, at the most, you had a 50-50 chance of actually getting a hit. So I think that made the dice chucking more exciting.
Yeah, you were getting real excited over there throwing that dice. Like, I'm gonna get this, you know. So this game reminded me a lot of Quack's-a-Quedlinburg.
It did remind me of, with the push your luck. Like, you could roll the die, but you could, after you had 3, you could push your luck. So that certainly reminded me of it.
Yeah, so, you know, and you know how my luck is with dice. But you were over there like, you bought Smelly Cat, And if you get the cat face, you get 2 movement. And you was just like pop, 2 movement, pop, 2 movement. And I'm like, has she missed Smelly Cat yet? Then you bought another one, and then pop 4 movement. I'm like, what? Do I need to take her to the casino or something? You know? So you were rolling that dice. I have to give it to you. So what do you think about the teach?
I think this game is accessible to kids as young as 8. It's easy to teach, it's easy to learn, it's easy to play. I could see a young kid having a lot of fun with this game.
I mean, I can see, yeah, dice chucking, like, who doesn't like dice chucking? Don't get me wrong, but I think the strategy, I think a young kid wouldn't get the strategy of what dice they need to buy.
You know what? They're not even gonna try to be strategic. They're gonna be like, ooh, I got 7. I can buy you 2 or a 5. I can buy you 3 or a 4. Then when they get them and they play with them, they're gonna be like, oh, this didn't help me. That's how they gonna learn.
Okay. Trial by error. I got you.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we went over everything. Overall, what do you think about this game?
This game was fun. It was cute. It was light. It was fun. It's just the kind of game I want to play when I've been working at the computer doing a lot of heavy reading and writing.
Yeah, this game was really, really fun.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm okay with the components. I'm okay with the art and everything. But I mean, it is a board game, and board games are meant to be fun. And this game was really, really, really fun. Like can I be honest?
Please do.
So that day, the day we played this game, I wasn't planning on doing a review on this game. It was the furthest from my mind at that time, and I wasn't having a great day. And I was sitting there looking at the box. You came in the room and said, "Hey, you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's play this." And I taught you how to play, and that was so much fun.
It was fun.
I mean, it really took my mind off of everything. And I mean, I had so much fun playing with you. You're my buddy. And just sitting there watching you throw the dice. I mean, the way you were throwing it looked like you was a little girl playing in a sandbox. I don't know. And you just had this big smile on your face. And I'm
like dice. And
I mean, it just reminded me of why I started playing board games, to have fun, but also board games can be therapeutic. They can stimulate your mind. They just bring people together, and that's pretty much all I'm trying to do with this channel.
Exactly.
So that's how we feel about Cubitos. Fun game, love it. We probably be playing it again right when we finish filming. Because I got to beat her now. She won. If you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And like I said, Cubitos is a great game. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
We are BlackBoardGaming, and we will see you next time.